Welcome back! Now that you know a little more about the possibilities offered by WordPress, we can start adapting your website to your needs and your taste. For that, you can select Setting and a scrolling bar menu will appear. The tab Generals regroups the main setting of your website. You can, for example, modify the title of your website and add a tagline such as to explain your website. This will appear on your main page of your website. Down the page, you can also change the language here if you want your language to be different. Don't forget to apply changes before you leave the new tab. You can also decide to change the time zone or to modify some characteristic of your website, such as the footer credit. You can also find a spot to launch your website here. Finally, down the page, you can change your site address if you want to modify it. You can delete your contents. Your website will still be online, but all your posts, pages, and media will disappear. You can also delete your site permanently through this page by just clicking on the appropriate choices. Once all the modifications that you wanted to do have been done, don't forget to go on the top right corner and save your changing by clicking Save Settings. If you continue in the Setting menu, you will see the tab called Performance. This page will help you improve your site's performance with diverse settings, but they are only available for upgraded plans. After, you can see the Writing tab, which regroups settings related to your website contents. You can modify how you compose your posts, such as determine the date and the format of your posts. You can, for example, decide if you want a time to appear with AM or PM here. You can decide I want, for example, the year to appear first and the time to appear with a PM and AM. On this tab, you can decide the number of posts displayed per page here, as well as the presence of a number of testimonial and portfolio projects and the number of posts to include in your feed. You simply select the appropriate feature for you. The last part permits you to select or not the infinite scroll, which allows the loading of your post as you scroll. If you disable it, a clickable button will be displayed at the end of your page to load the following post. Once again, do not forget to save your settings by clicking the appropriate button in pink each time on the top right corner. The Discussion tab regroups all the features to enable or disable to control how people interact with your website through comments. You can precisely define what you allow them to do or not by simply using this feature. For example, I can decide that I do not want comment author to fill out name and email. Once again, don't forget to save your changes by clicking Save Settings on the top right. The next tab is called Reading. Once again, this page is only accessible after you validate your email address. But on this page, you can select your home page display. That can be your latest post or a static page. We can, for example, decide that the home page will be the one we call home. You can also see on this website how many posts appear at most per page, or how many items can be displayed on the syndication feed. For each post in a feed, you can decide to include full text or excerpt. You can go through all the detail of your website on this page, and at the end, you can also write down a message that your followers will receive once they follow you or follow your website or follow one post of your website. For example, welcome. Once again, don't forget to click Save Changes before you leave this page. The next tab, called Media, can once again be accessible fully once you have verified your email address. Here you can decide the settings of the media you incorporate in your posts and website. These are pre-selected settings, but you can always modify the media once you add them on your post. You can decide their size or decide if you want to enable a carousel, the color of your background, or if you allow comments to show. All this information have to be saved once again before you leave the page. Finally, the last tab is called Hosting Configuration. This tab is aimed at accessing your website data and more advanced settings. This is also a feature reserved for upgraded plans. Congratulations! In this task, you have set up your website. In the next task, you will customize it.